everyone, my name is Chelsea and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we have my August book haul. So I have quite a few things to show you today. Not all of them are things that I went out and picked up. Most of them are book boxes or pre-order books. So ultimately, things that were supposed to be coming in. So I don't feel like it's as bad. It could still be bad, you know what I mean? But it's things that I had been wanting, been anticipating. They finally came out, and so they got shipped here. So I'm going to be talking about those today. The first ones that we're gonna jump into are from book boxes. So I actually did have an unboxing, a triple unboxing for the July boxes in August. So let's jump into those. The first one we have here is Hot Summer by Elle Everhart. This was an Afterlight book. It is going to be sapphic romance, and it's gonna be set at almost like a Love Island type of thing, like a dating show type of thing. I love those, so I'm very excited for this one. I love what they did with the cover. It looks very summery, sunsetty, yes. The next one we have here is The Phoenix Keeper by S.A. McLean. This one I think is also sapphic, but it is going to be fantasy. We have this magical zoo, and our main character is the Phoenix Keeper. She wants to help the phoenixes procreate and that kind of thing, wants to bring back the breeding program. That sounds better than procreate. And so yeah, I do think she has a rival that wants them to be more like a showpiece, and I think, like I said, I think this is gonna be sapphic as well. I really do love what they did with the cover of this as well. It's gorgeous. Then I got two books from Rainbow Crate. Their traditionally published one for July was Bury Your Gaze by Chuck Wendig. Again, I love what they did with the cover here, although because this is their traditionally published one, it does have the original cover underneath as well. And they have nutrition facts, so that's what we're going to read here. The representation in this book is gay, asexual, bisexual, and lesbian. Genre is Hollywood horror. Plot is evil overlords, campy cult classics, gays on TV, and censored. Don't know what that means. Demographics is adults. And then they had an indie book. This is going to be Stars Collide by Rachel Lacey. This is going to be a pop star singer type one, and I'm pretty sure it is sapphic as well. So again, nutrition facts, representation, pansexual and lesbian, genre, pop star romance, plot, slow burn, grumpy sunshine, toaster oven, and sexual awakening. Demographics adult. Again, I really do like that in this one for Rainbow Crate we had two adult books, but one is romance and one is horror. I love both those genres, and I'm glad they did varying books, different genres. So now we're going to get into the actual pre-orders, the actual things that I was anticipating to come in. The first one we're going to talk about was supposed to be here at the end of July, but Barnes & Noble had messed up what came in. I got a different manga instead, so it came in at the beginning of August. It is going to be Ali by Junji Ito. I have already read this one and talked about it in my wrap-up. I will leave it linked down below, but I really liked this. It was his newest collection of short stories. They are horror. They are very, very creepy, have his traditional style, very Junji Ito, and I did love this one. The next pre-order we have here is Full Speed to a Crash Landing by Beth Revis. This is a novella, so it actually is short and small and cute, and it's sci-fi. I have heard of Beth Revis. She's been on my radar for a while. I don't think I've actually read any of her books, but I'm also pretty sure this is her adult debut. I'm very curious about this one because it does follow a woman who I think is stranded in space, and she's normally a looter and gets picked up by this ship that is going to go do something, and they're not too sure about her because of the fact that she's a looter normally and is potentially close to whatever they're supposed to do. From my understanding, there's also romance in here, so sci-fi romance, cute little novella, yeah. The next one I have here is Haunted Ever After by Jen DeLuca. Jen DeLuca is the author of the Well Met series, the Renaissance Fair romances that I have absolutely been loving. And this one is not set in that world, so I'm very intrigued. This is set in Florida, where this author is originally from, and then she moved to Arizona, where I was from, and so I was so happy that we were there at the same time, at least for a little bit. Yeah, this is going to be a sort of paranormal romance where this woman moves into town, and I think there's some sort of will they, won't they with the coffee shop owner, and there is some sort of ghost thing going on. I'm very, very intrigued by this. I need to get on this. The next one I have here is Brothersong by TJ Plume. This is the final book, I'm pretty sure, in the Green Creek series. The only one I've read of this series so far is Wolfsong. Forever ago, back before they did these books. And part of it is because when they announced that they were going to be doing these, I knew I wanted to reread Wolfsong before I got into the rest, and then I was just sort of waiting for them all to come in. Well, they have all come in now. I loved the first one so much. I really do need to continue. I've heard amazing things about the representation and things in here, and I know at least from the first volume we are definitely dealing with some harder topics in these stories, very much like found family. There is paranormal werewolfy stuff, obviously, but yeah, I definitely need to read these. And this is the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition, so it does have like underneath the dust jacket and the end papers, and it should also have the last part of the like extra story stuff that they've been doing in the back of every single book. So that should be like the finale of that as well. I definitely need to reread the first one. Now that I have them all, I really should get on that. I need to reread those so I can finish everything else. I'm very excited. Then we also have Amari and the Despicable Wonders by B.B. Alston. This is the third book in this middle grade fantasy series that I have been really enjoying. I gave the first book 5 stars, like it was phenomenal. The second book I do think had a little bit of second book syndrome. It just wasn't as good, but it was still fun. So I'm very hopeful for this book, book 3. This series in general follows our main character of Amari, who finds out that magic and magical creatures and different things like that are real. This is sort of like a Men in Black take on it because of the fact that everything is in our world. It's just like you can't see it unless you've been brought into that area. Yeah, I need to see where this is gonna go. I really love the friendships and stuff in it, and so yeah, I'm excited to have this one. The next couple things we're gonna talk about are technically pre-orders, but also Kickstarter. So the first one I have here is Plume, the Omnibus by Kaylin Smith. I absolutely love Kaylin Smith's work. I've actually talked about it before on my channel, but like most recently on my first last favorite video, because I've read pretty much everything she has ever done where she was the author and the illustrator. This was her first original work. And so this is the omnibus edition. She has been updating some of the art in here, so I'm very excited to have this. I think I need to do a reread soon. I don't remember if there's supposed to be like an extra scene or an extra short story at the end. I think there is something a little bit extra for us in this omnibus edition, which I'm very excited to have. And this is like a fantasy western, because it is western, like gunfights, and in the western setting, like horses and carriages and like the dust hounds and things like that. But our main character of Vesper also has this locket, and in the locket is Korik, and he can like come out and protect her. And I just absolutely love Kaylin Smith with the way she does characters and relationships and that kind of stuff, so I definitely had to pick this up, and I do want to do a reread. The next one I have here is He Hears Death by A.L. Davidson. So again, another Kickstarter one that I did. This is like a novella length, so I'm very curious about this. I don't remember everything about this one now, but from my understanding, this is some sort of like tarot inspired thing. Because like when you look at the summary on the back, everything that's like a tarot card is capitalized. So we have like the main character is the Fool, and then we have love, like the Lover, death, the Tower, what else we have? The Star. Like there's a lot of things, and they're capitalized like a title, like the cards. I don't remember, again, like I said, what this is really supposed to be. I do really want to try it out though. And then, like I said, most of the books that I got were pre-order things. So I did pick up one book just out and about. This is The Story Collector by Evie Woods. I got this at Costco for 11 something when it's normally 19. The reason I got this, even though it's not necessarily something I would say is like my genre, I read The Unmaking of June Farrow by Adrienne Young this last month in August and absolutely loved it. And that is something also that I would not have said was like my thing necessarily. It felt historical fiction with a little bit of magic, and that's sort of what I get from this as well. It talks about 100 years ago, Anna is a young farm girl and volunteers to help an American visitor translate fairy stories from Irish to English. And there's also in present day New York, Sarah Harper boarding a plane from the West Coast to Ireland. And there's stuff going on with that. Like it does feel like there's going to be some sort of magical nature to this, even though it is also partly historical. Something about this screamed Unmaking of June Farrow to me, so I picked it up. We're going to try it. Then I also had 4 different ebooks that I picked up. So let's get into those as well. The first two that we're going to talk about are from the same author. At the beginning of the month, this author had 4 different books that were each the first in a series. And each of those first in a series books for a limited time was free. One book I have read before. One book I was not interested in, because even though I've read a lot by this author, some things are just not my thing. And then 2 of them I was intrigued by. One I definitely knew I wanted, I just didn't have it yet. And the other one I'm curious, I have no idea if I'm gonna like it or not, but I got it anyway. So the first one is Pheromone by C.M. Stenich. This is the one that I definitely wanted to try. It is her sci-fi alien romance. It talks about a woman who is like 25 and gets abducted from Earth by aliens, and I think crash lands into like a jungle planet, and things go from there. Reminds me a little bit of like the setup to Ice Planet Barbarians, which I actually did really enjoy as well. And this author in general, I love her writing style and her world building, and some of the series that I've read by her are not finished, and it's because she does do this like really good writing style and world building characters that sometimes she just gets swept away in the other things that she's writing. So the good thing about this one is she wrote everything in this series all at once and released them like every few weeks or a month apart or something like that. So this whole series is completed. It's sci-fi alien romance. I really want to try it out. And then the second one that I got from this author was Stolen Crush. This is the first book in the like daughter of a serial killer or something like that series, and it is more of a dark romance. It is also a high school romance. Those are hit or miss with me, especially in this why choose area, because I think I forgot to mention for Pheromone, this author does why choose romance, reverse harem romance for some people. I prefer why choose, and so yeah, this is going to be a why choose high school romance. I did hear it's dark. I heard there's a little bit of bullying, which again can be hit or miss for me, but this is the one where I was like, I'm intrigued. I want to know if this is actually going to be up my alley or not, because again, some of her books are up my alley and some of them are not. And so this is about a woman, a girl, because she is in high school. I might just age them up in my head, we'll see, where her dad is in prison because he's a serial killer, and things go from there. It's supposed to be suspenseful and mystery as well as the romance in it, so like I'm intrigued by this. It has really good reviews. And then there's 2 more that I picked up. They were both on sale near the end of the month for 99 cents on Amazon. I had credits on Amazon as well, so I actually got them for free, technically that way. One of them is Small Miracles by Olivia Atwater. This is the same author as Half a Soul, which I'm intrigued by. I have not read it yet, but this is about a fallen angel who's supposed to tempt a woman, and no matter what she does, if this fallen angel is a woman, a man, a cat, nothing is tempting her. And so in order to like tempt her, she decides to maybe actually switch it around and do miracles instead. I don't remember exactly what the purpose of tempting her is, but I'm very intrigued by this. And then the last one I have is Till Death Do Us Barred by Rose Black. So this one is something that has been highly anticipated by me. I think I had it on my like new releases video near the end of last year, something like that. It's supposed to be more like potentially cozy fantasy, maybe adventure fantasy, definitely sort of D&D based, because one of the characters is like a bard and his husband is more like a warrior type of character, and they are retired at the beginning of the story. However, the bard character disappears because he got roped into like going to steal something, and so our other guy has to go save his husband from whatever he's doing. I don't know, it just sounds very intriguing and very cute, and like, yeah, I had to pick it up because it was 99 cents and I had a credit. So ultimately I think I have 16 books here. 2 things I've already read though, because I've read Plume and I've read Allie, so ultimately I'm only adding 14 books to my TBR. I say only. I'm only adding 14 books to my TBR. It's not that bad, right? Right. Tell me I'm right. Okay. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up to let me know. Subscribe to this channel if you'd like to see more videos. I do have videos coming out Tuesdays, Thursdays, and sometimes Saturdays, so I will see you then. Bye.